It all started with a strange signal, one that no one could explain. It wasn't a simple radio wave or a satellite glitch, it was something far more complex. The government had dismissed it as an anomaly, but Dr. Sarah Evans, an astrophysicist working at a small research lab, couldn't ignore it. She had always believed that somewhere, out there, was more than just our human existence. For months, she had been trying to decode the message. It wasn't any known language, but the patterns were too deliberate to be random. She spent sleepless nights, poring over the data. As she neared the end of her research, something clicked. The pattern wasn't just a message, it was coordinates. The coordinates led to a remote, uninhabited island in the Pacific Ocean, one that wasn't marked on any maps. The island had been the subject of strange disappearances for decades. Some called it cursed, others claimed it was the site of secret military experiments. Sarah knew she had to investigate. With the help of a few trusted colleagues, she prepared for an expedition. As they made their way to the island, a feeling of unease settled over the group. No one spoke of it, but each one of them could feel it, the sense that they were heading toward something that would change the course of human history. The weather turned violent as they neared the island, and the storm was so fierce that the boat had to anchor just off the coast. The group made their way to shore through the thick rain. Once on the island, the group immediately noticed that it was unnervingly quiet. There were no birds, no insects. It was as if life had been wiped away. As they ventured deeper into the island, Sarah's heart raced. She could feel they were being watched, but by what, she couldn't say. After hours of trekking through dense jungle, they stumbled upon a hidden structure, an underground bunker, overgrown with vines. The metal door was old but sturdy, and the markings on it were unlike anything Sarah had ever seen. Symbols that resembled ancient scripts, but they were alien in nature. It was clear, they had found something extraordinary. The door creaked open, revealing a dark hallway. A chill ran down Sarah's spine as they stepped inside. They weren't alone. The walls were covered in strange carvings and alien symbols, some of which seemed to shift when she wasn't looking directly at them. The deeper they went into the bunker, the more oppressive the atmosphere became. They finally reached a central chamber, and there, in the middle of the room, was a device, something that looked like a massive, glowing crystal embedded in a pedestal. It hummed softly, its energy palpable. As Sarah approached it, she felt a wave of heat and a surge of electricity in the air. The device flickered, and then, as if in response to her presence, it came alive. The world around them seemed to shift, and Sarah heard a voice in her head, clear and direct. "You have found us. We have been waiting." The voice was unlike anything Sarah had ever experienced. It wasn't a voice from the air, it was a mental transmission, clear as day, yet coming from within her own mind. The team froze, all of them hearing the same message. It was a voice, but it felt unnatural, like a being from another realm. The voice continued. "We are the Eloyians. Your world is not the only one. The time has come for you to understand what lies beyond the stars." Sarah felt a wave of shock and disbelief. Aliens. It was real. All her years of research, all her theories, it was happening. But why now? And why to her? Before she could speak, the crystal on the pedestal pulsed again, and the room began to glow. Strange symbols appeared on the walls, flashing rapidly, like a code being deciphered in real time. The voice resumed. "The Eloyians are an ancient race. We have watched you for millennia, studying your development, your struggles. You are close to understanding the truth, but you are also close to destroying yourselves. You are on the brink of an irreversible conflict, and we are here to stop it." Sarah's mind raced. This wasn't just about discovery, it was about saving humanity. But from what? What had they seen that she hadn't? The Eloyan continued. "We must show you the past. The events that have led to this moment. Come, touch the crystal, and you will know." With hesitation, Sarah reached out to the crystal. As soon as her fingers made contact, the room seemed to disappear. She was no longer in the bunker. She found herself in a vast, alien landscape. Towering structures that defied the laws of physics surrounded her. She could see beings, tall, ethereal figures with translucent skin moving gracefully across the land. They were the Eloyians, their appearance matching the symbols on the walls. They spoke in a language that Sarah couldn't understand, but somehow, she knew what they were saying. They were warning her about something catastrophic. A rift between their world and Earth that had been opened millennia ago. A rift that had been closed until now. The vision shifted. Sarah saw images of Earth's past ancient civilizations, the rise and fall of empires. She saw wars, plagues, and unnatural phenomena. It was all connected to the Eloyians, who had been pulling the strings from the shadows. They had intervened in humanity's history, guiding certain events to prevent total destruction. But now, the Eloyians' power was waning. They had been waiting for humanity to be ready, but with the recent advances in technology, it seemed humanity had reached a tipping point. A war, an extinction event, was imminent. The Eloyians' final attempt to stop it would involve Sarah and her team. The vision ended abruptly, and Sarah was back in the bunker, gasping for air. The voice returned. "You are the chosen ones. You must prevent the coming war. Only then can humanity survive. The fate of your world lies in your hands." As Sarah processed the vision, panic set in. The weight of what she had learned was unbearable. The fate of humanity. The future of Earth. How could she, one person, carry such responsibility? She turned to her team, but their faces mirrored her disbelief. "We need to leave. This is too much," one of her colleagues whispered. But Sarah didn't move. She couldn't. The Eloyan message was too clear. The war, the destruction, it was already happening. The world wasn't ready, but they had to stop it. The clock was ticking. "We need to go back," Sarah said. "We need to stop them before it's too late." They left the bunker, but the unease followed them. The world outside hadn't changed, but Sarah could feel the weight of their mission bearing down on her. The information she had received was crucial, humans needed to know. But there was a problem. If the world knew the truth, it might not be able to handle it. People would panic. Nations would act out of fear, and that could spark the very war the Eloyians warned against. Back at her lab, Sarah and her team worked tirelessly to understand the information the Eloyians had given them. They discovered that the rift, the one connecting Earth to the Eloyan world, wasn't just a one-way bridge. It was a portal that could be manipulated, and if it wasn't sealed, it could open again, bringing chaos with it. But the Eloyians had made one thing clear: only a few people on Earth could truly understand their message. Only a few were ready. The rest would never be able to grasp the enormity of what was at stake. And that left Sarah with an impossible decision. Should she share the knowledge, risking worldwide panic, or should she keep it to herself, knowing that the world might never be prepared for such a truth? The Eloyians had given her the tools, but it was up to her to decide how much the world should know. Would humanity accept the truth, or would they destroy themselves in their fear of the unknown? In the end, Sarah made her choice. She would reveal the message in a way that allowed people to prepare, but not in a way that would spark panic. It would be a slow awakening, a process of guiding humanity toward a better future. The Eloyians had warned her, and now she would act as their messenger. It was her responsibility. As Sarah stood at the edge of a new era, she realized that the whispers of the unknown were not just warnings, they were a call to action. The question was no longer about whether or not humanity would survive. It was about how they would choose to face the unknown. This story explores themes of responsibility, truth, and the ethical dilemmas surrounding the dissemination of knowledge. The idea of revealing alien secrets challenges the concept of secrecy and transparency. The ethics of whether or not to share life-altering information with the public is a central theme, highlighting the tension between the potential for panic and the need for preparation. The story also touches on the moral obligation to act in the best interest of humanity, even when the truth is difficult to comprehend.